What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka All Fires. Now, 3 weeks ago here at the channel via industry insider Daniel RPK, we re-reported that Marvel Studios would indeed be making a decision and that we would hear the fate of Blade in the coming months. Now, as it turns out, today we finally have, and this broke literally within the last hour, probably a little bit longer than that before my editor gets this video up. Deadline publishing this article, Marvel Studios' Blade removed from 2025 release schedule. We're going to read through the article, break down exactly what it says and what it means now for this franchise that was announced over a half decade ago and now looks as though it may never come out. We're going to talk about exactly that, whether or not we'll ever see Blade released by Marvel Studios. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, that'll enter you to win next week's PS5 giveaway. Also, I would just kindly remind you guys that my analytics show there have been some of you who've been rocking with the channel for a while and maybe haven't hit the subscribe button yet, and I would just kindly invite you to do so. It is the easiest and best way to support a content creator. So just reminding you guys, if you like a channel, sub to them. It is like literally the best thing you can do. Okay, so again, this coming from Deadline that Marvel Studios' Blade removed from 2025 release schedule. They go on to report, quote, "It comes as no surprise. Marvel Studios' Blade won't be coming out November 7th, 2025. Rather, Disney is opening 20th Century Studios' Predator Badlands. The reboot of the famed Wesley Snipes Marvel movie was first announced at San Diego Comic-Con in 2019, with two-time Oscar winner Mahershala Ali starring. Production and development on Blade hit unavoidable delays with a global pandemic and dual industry strikes. The project saw two directors exit, first Bassem Tariq, who was eyeing a fall 2022 start, then Jan Demange. Mia Goth is set to play the supervillain Lilith in the Vampire Slayer movie. She told Deadline's Natalie Sitek at the world premiere of her A24 movie Maxine that in regards to the Blade delays, Marvel, quote, really care, they do, they want to make a great movie. That's the sense I get from them, and that feels good." The article then goes on to write that for Marvel boss Kevin Feige, it's important to make the best Blade movie ever, and that the studio won't make the movie until they've cracked a great script. They then add that in addition to the currently announced films, 3 untitled Marvel movies are dated for February 18th, 2028, May 5th, 2028, and November 10th, 2028. And basically by writing that, they're simply implying, of course, that'll be after Avengers Secret Wars, and that's the next time, the unreleased date group that we've got, that we could see this movie being made. But of course, that would have to see the script finished and them announcing they're actually going into production. Now, people have wondered for a while if it's ever going to get officially canceled, as in, hey, we are not doing Blade anymore. And as I've said at the channel, my equation on this has been quite simple since the beginning, and the math hasn't changed in the literal last 5 years. As long as Mahershala Ali stays attached to the project, they're going to make this film eventually. Remember, he's the one who approached them, and it also sounds like he's also been one of the main voices for agitation and not just accepting whatever lame script that they threw his way, saying, no, I want to make this movie, but these scripts aren't good enough. So it's not a matter of he's going to walk away from the project. It's a matter of he's not walking away from the project, so he has to make sure that it's that good. And of course, it's going to get really interesting on the press junket, or even after the movie comes out, whenever that is, when people can start asking questions about just what happened and during pre-production. But it's not like Mahershala Ali and Marvel Studios don't have anything going on. He's slated to star in the next Jurassic Park movie. Marvel Studios has their eyes set on trying to nail the next 2 Avengers films, and so from both perspectives, an indefinite delay does not mean that it's ultimately canceled. It's just probably like, hey, we've got other stuff to work on, we can do this down the road. Speaking of which, last we heard, the next time we would pick up with Werewolf by Night and Man-Thing would have their story continue in after the conclusion of Avengers Secret Wars. That part of the universe is going to be set up for Midnight Suns. So the projects that all tie to that in that way probably will all find a home in just much later down the road, which at some point I think would be amazing if they could include Punisher, because we suspect his own Disney Plus solo series that was rumored to have been included in his contract to come back for Daredevil will be somewhere around this time as well. And although Marvel Studios has not had a history of making R-rated projects, one of the first places they explored adult content was on Disney Plus. And so now that you've had Deadpool and Wolverine absolutely destroy the box office as the highest rated R movie ever and one of the highest grossing films ever, now that it just beat Barbie. And so Marvel Studios obviously is going to want to replicate that success, but there are actually very few projects that they wouldn't have to sort of force a rated R rating on. I personally think the Doctor Strange movies would have been great if they could have been rated R, but they don't have to be. Blade, however, absolutely has to be rated R. It's one of the few titles they've got that does, and so if Blade is going to be rated R, Werewolf by Night was already TVMA. You might have the Punisher be on the team, and we know that series will probably be just as viscerally violent as the series we have upcoming in Daredevil Born Again, which, by the way, has promised to be extremely TV mature as well. I think it would just be super cool for them to embrace the supernatural side of the MCU and do it in an adult way where all of the projects that connect are rated R. I would also say, hilariously, it's maybe the one side of the universe you don't have to do that in, because the blood coming out of monsters actually doesn't qualify for an R rating in the same way if coming out of humans, you can't leave it PG-13, but I'll just be happy to get a Midnight Suns whether it's rated R or PG-13 either. Now, here's also my final thought on this. A, it opens up Wesley Snipes returning for a cameo in Avengers Secret Wars and not having to deal with two Blades in the MCU. If anything, that actually works out perfectly, because I think there is a good chance we see him again after his cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine. I would also argue that if Mahershala Ali were to walk away from the project, maybe it wouldn't mean that it would be canceled, because again, at this point, everybody knows about the woes and behind the scenes. It wouldn't be a shocker to anybody. And although it may be a big enough blow to cancel the project because it's taken this long already, it doesn't mean there isn't a handful of great actors who couldn't come and do a Blade in the MCU. So I think this ultimately being delayed is not a shocker at all. They're going to finish Avengers Secret Wars and work on whatever projects are in front of them that they have to now, and then hopefully have a script put together. And since Chad Stahelski, the guy who directed the John Wick movies, has already expressed interest in doing this film and knows Kevin Feige refers to him as a mentor of sorts about creating a cinematic universe, man, how has that not come together already? But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below. As always, I'm all ears. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Alright, we're still giving away PlayStation 5s here at the channel, and the next one happens to be at the end of the month to coincide with Agatha All Along's finale. If you want to be entered to win, or for any of the other future giveaways here at the channel, all the same rules will always apply. You've got to be a subscriber, so hit the sub button, then leave a comment down below, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos in the same way we're doing here, live with my voice, in the winning comment when there is one shown on screen. So please be safe and vigilant on YouTube or really any other platform. Please remember, anybody can take a content creator's profile picture, claim to be them. It's all a ruse to get your information on a third-party app like Telegram or WhatsApp and charge you for shipping for a price that's not there. No content creator, myself included, will ever charge you for shipping, so please be safe again and vigilant on any platform. And if you should get a spam comment like that, just report it directly to YouTube. They are very fast about deleting that account, and then everywhere they've commented goes away as well. You're actually doing a huge service to the YouTube community, not just the one page or comment that they happen to try to snag you on. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes under the name Allfires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around, guys. We'll be posting again real soon.